Hi, in this video, we're going to look at propagating a default route in RIPv2. All right, so here's the network that we've been using in previous videos. Let's just go ahead and add on another interface on R1, and let's say this is our connection to our ISP. All right, so it's very common in a dynamic routing protocol that we're going to be that we want to have a default route on our edge or gateway router, the one that's connected to our ISP, in this case router R1. We might do that with a default static route, and then we want to propagate that automatically to the rest of our RIP routing domain. All right. That's instead of having to statically configure a default route on all the routers, just do it on router R1 in this case, our edge or gateway router, and let the dynamic routing protocol propagate or advertise that information throughout our routing domain. So we're going to go ahead and configure the default static route and then propagate it using RIP, using the command default information originate. So let's go ahead and do that. On R1, we've configured a default route, quad 0. It's going out serial 001 to next hop address. So we just say router RIP and then default dash information originate. That's all there is to it. Here's the cool thing. So it's going to go, has a default, static default route pointing to the router at 209.165.200.226. And RIP will go ahead and propagate that. Let's take a look. So I do show IP route on R1, and there's our static route, our static default route. Also the gateway of last resort. Let's take a look at R2. So what do we expect to see on R2? Are we going to see that default route? And if so, what's it going to look like? Is it going to be static or is it going to be RIP? There it is. There's our default route, and it is via RIP. And the asterisk means that it's a candidate for a gateway of last resort. R3, we're going to see the same thing. There we go. So all the routers in our RIP routing domain, our RIP version 2 routing domain in this case, will get the default route automatically, and everybody will know that any packets that are not specifically in the routing table, any packet with a destination IP address that does not match something more specific will match a default route because 0 bits need to match, and they'll pass them on their way upstream here. So R3 will send it to R2, R2 will send it to R1, and then R1 has a static route to send out, but they will all be going out towards the internet. All right, it's that easy to propagate a default route in RIP and most routing protocols.